Amaka was the kind of woman who commanded attention wherever she went. With striking beauty and an air of superiority, she lived in the heart of Lagos, Nigeria. But beneath her flawless exterior lay a heart of stone. She was ruthless, cold, and unkind. No one in her household escaped her cruelty, but her house help, Uju, suffered the most. Uju was a young girl from a humble background, forced by circumstances to work for Amaka. She endured the daily torment, harsh words, long hours, and meager meals. Amaka seemed to take pleasure in her suffering, treating her like she was less than human. Every day, Uju dreamed of a way out, but she had nowhere else to go. Then fate intervened. Amaka fell seriously ill. What started as a simple cough turned into something much worse. She was diagnosed with a rare disease at the General Hospital, one that left her weak, frail, and utterly helpless. The woman who once ruled her home with an iron fist could barely lift a hand to feed herself. Her so-called friends vanished, and she was left at the mercy of the one person she had mistreated the most, Uju. It was now Uju's turn. With no one else willing to take care of Amaka, Uju was given full control. At first, she tended to Amaka's needs just as a dutiful house help should. She fed her, bathed her, and ensured she took her medication. But she never forgot the years of torment. Slowly, she began to repay Amaka in the same cruel coin. Uju would bring food and let the tantalizing aroma fill the hospital room, only to take it away before Amaka could eat. She would pour water into a cup, place it inches from Amaka's trembling fingers, and watch as she struggled in vain to reach it. At night, she would let Amaka call for assistance, only to sit in silence and ignore her cries. Amaka, once so powerful, was now at the mercy of the very person she had despised. Helpless, she realized that cruelty always finds its way back. Her body grew weaker, and for the first time in her life, she tasted the true bitterness of suffering. She begged Uju for mercy, but the young woman only smiled, a cold, knowing smile. Days passed and Uju continued her silent revenge. But one evening, she stood by Amaka's bedside and sighed. "Madam," she said, her voice calm yet firm, "I could do to you everything you did to me. But I won't. Because unlike you, I still have kindness in me." With that, Uju resumed caring for Amaka properly. She fed her, gave her water, and tended to her wounds. Not because Amaka deserved it, but because Uju refused to become the monster that Amaka had been. Amaka lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, defeated. For the first time in her life, she understood what true strength was. It was not in power or cruelty but in the ability to forgive, even when vengeance seemed justified. As days turned into weeks, Amaka's health slowly improved, and with it came a newfound humility. She watched Uju in silence, wondering how the girl she had treated so cruelly could still find it in her heart to show kindness. And in that moment, she realized that the real beauty was not in outward appearance but in the goodness of one's heart. By the time Amaka was discharged, she was no longer the same person. And Uju, she walked away from that hospital with her head held high, knowing she had won, not by inflicting pain, but by proving that kindness is the ultimate revenge. If you enjoyed the story, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel to get notified of another interesting story.